So there's this little word in Islam called shirk. I'm going to attach some links in the description that you should go look at. I'm not going to go into the extreme detail to explain shirk to you, but read it in the description in the Islamic website so that you can formulate some sort of idea about what it is. It's a new word to you, but you should get accustomed to it. Shirk is a damaging word in Islam, and Muslims are very aware in their daily lives of, and they really are hyper vigilant of performing specific steps and being consciously aware of not falling into shirk and not committing shirk. Shirk is seen as the ultimate sin. People who are considered to be committing shirk are called mushrikeen, if it's a group of people. If it's just one person, it's called mushrik. The reason I'm saying this is because in our daily lives under Islam, we become almost obsessive in order not to fall into this. You're considered to be worshipping a false idol or a false god, either instead of Allah or in conjunction with Allah. Another form of shirk is straying away from the Islamic path. So, believing in things that are not prescribed in Islam. Example of such a thing is, I'm a believer of LGBT rights, but Islam does not. So if you are a Muslim who believes in LGBT rights, you are considered to have committed shirk. The punishment of shirk is eternal hellfire. This is the prescribed punishment by Allah as well as His Prophet. Now, the reason I'm doing this video is because something has happened and it has made me question. And I wanted to bring my questions up in public through this video. There's some prominent Muslim figures in Canada that I fear might have fallen into shirk, and I wanted to raise awareness and ask if this is indeed what you guys think has happened as well. So here's the case. I shall present it to you. The first case is that of Imam Ibrahim Hindi. Imam Ibrahim Hindi I have spoken about in the past. He has openly called the Islamic Party of Ontario's platform trash. He has done so because the Islamic Party of Ontario, which follows Islam, the platform is essentially Islam. It follows Islam to the T. They called out the LGBT community in Ontario, I guess, and in Canada, saying that Islam does not permit this type of behavior. And that is the focus of Imam Ibrahim Hindi when he called the platform trash. Now, I don't know why he's doing this, so I wanted to ask him, as well as you guys, why do you think Imam Ibrahim Hindi is calling the Islamic Party of Ontario's platform trash when it only represents true Islam through the teachings of Muhammad? Or is he calling Islam trash? Like, would the Prophet, would he call that to the Prophet's face? Would he say that? What is it, do you think he's trying to do? Or could he possibly have fallen into shirk and is now a mushrik? The other question I had is, what about all the people the Muslims that are taking their kids to his mosque or donating to his mosque? Will their sadaqah or zakah or their charity be considered any of worth anything in Islam, or is it now, null and void if he is indeed a mushrik? The other person I wanted to highlight was Amira El-Gawabi. Amira El-Gawabi is associated with the Canadian Anti-Hate Network, which I've also spoken about in the past, as this is an organization that specializes in turning victims and victimhood into money. That's the business model that they have, victimhood. So Amira El-Gawabi recently responded to the Quebec Minister of Women's Affairs or Women's Status when she called out the hijab as a symbol, she did actually. She said it was a symbol of oppression. And Amira went on and on. She was upset, and she said, you know, we should always be concerned when people start treating women as second-class citizens and telling them what and what not to wear, and this is dangerous. I got confused as well with Amira, because Islam does the same. Islam, in the hadiths, says that women have less brains and less capacity to be religious than men. Also, the testimony of a woman in Islam in court is half that of a man. Islam also orders us, there's endless verses in the Quran as well as endless hadiths by the Prophet where they control what women say, how women look, what women wear, what women do, you know, so many. There's an entire verse in the Quran about women telling the men how to deal with us and us how to deal with everything. So I'm a bit confused, Amira. Why are you doing this? And she also called the Islamic Party of Ontario's platform garbage, and that it was one person's stupid idea, she said. Now, I don't know, like, would you say that to Prophet Muhammad if he was in front of you about Islam? I mean, the Islamic Party of Ontario is essentially laying out Islamic teachings. Help me understand, guys. Do you think Amira El-Gawabi is also committing shirk? These Muslims that are living in the West now, they have fallen. And I'm worried. Who is donating to her organization and the people that are associated if they are Muslims as well? Will their money be accepted in the eyes of Allah and in Islam? I don't know. Now, the radical Islamists that are currently watching me, I know you don't like me and I don't like you either. But you and I are on the same page, believe it or not. Do you think Amira El-Gawabi as well as Ibrahim Hindi are committing shirk? And if you do think they're committing shirk, should we not help them from straying away from the Islamic path? At least expose them. What do you guys think? Those were my questions today. I'm very concerned, and I'm hoping that you guys can help me understand what's happening. Now, the other thing I'm going to link is episode 7 of my podcast. Episode 7 is where I discuss my abduction and subsequent imprisonment in Saudi Arabia. And this is just the beginning of a 7-series chapter, if you may, in my podcast. So thank you, everyone. Please check out the description and feel free to tell me your thoughts.